scaling in that late game too.
Looks like the jungle Jarvan is going to be the choice here. As the Vladimir locked in along with the Orianna means Vlad will be top. It'll be impact on that one. So we will see him on a carry champion this time around. And Jensen will be on the Ori.
Yeah, and it'll be the first
Mid'in belli olmadığı için direkt Orianna'ı aldılar.
So certainly, you're stepping away from some of what we have seen.
Bence Akali tapa yollarlar ya. Ama Vlad, ooo.
This is very unlikely. I'm just letting y'all know.
No.
See? Now you set yourselves up for disappointment. I'm just trying to shield you from yourselves.
I hate to see it happen.
But TSM has this was the comp that we saw Cloud9.
Bu arada top lane matchup'ı bayağı zevkli olacak. Ama Zillion pek bir işe yaramıyor. Çünkü iki takımda da alan Kindred güzel ama Zillion pek bir işe yaramıyor. Alan hasarları var ya. Sen Sekiro oynamayacak mısın? Yok. Onlar neydi adı? Sponsorlu ya.
In your ultimate, you can drop bombs, raise that as expiring, hit the stun, guarantee that you will be bursting them down before they can get out of there.
Also worth noting, on the side of Team Liquid, there are no displacements other than the Orianna Shockwave to throw people out of Kindred's ultimate. So TSM will be able to really dig in their feet and take positioning on that Lamb's Respite.
A lot of that then comes down to, can you actually kill the Kindred off before you can get the ultimate down?
Right.
Or can you be in such a winning position that it's you setting up your shockwave coming out of that ultimate, or it's you with Vladimir dropping his ultimate and timing his damage to land right after that too. It is going to be carry versus carry in the top lane. Last time it certainly was Broken Blade getting the better of Impact. You know Impact wants to prove that he can compete.
And you know Team Liquid wants to prove that this slump is not here to last for playoffs.
Bu maç önemli.
Team Liquid and TSM will take to Summoner's Rift for the second time here this split.
Siyah çok iyi ama dolar daha iyi.
Their first place season on a high note. TSM looking to be the only team to finish this split with a winning record over Team Liquid.
Claiming that 2-0, securing yourself as such a threat going into playoffs. Certainly things that TSM is hungry for here, and TL do not want to end the season on a bad note.
And as everyone rushes out of the base for the level 1, we are going to check in with Avali, who's got a sideline report with Dodo.
Thanks, Flowers. Dodo, rough last couple of games for Team Liquid. What's really going on with the team right now, and how are they feeling coming into today's game?
There's nothing too much serious going on. I think we're still confident that we are a strong team. I mean, we've been trying out a lot of different picks, been focusing on different styles, but obviously we are still making mistakes. So we're focused on trying to get better still. I don't think we're perfect yet, but we're not too worried. We're still confident. And I hope we can show that today.
Dodo, thank you and best of luck to you and the team. Back to you guys.
Diyor ki son maçlar kötü geçti, takım içinde neler oluyor falan filan, hani ne etki ediyor buna. Bir şey etki etmiyor. Çalışıyoruz, çok kazanıyoruz. Güzel her şey. Vallahi erkeği dinlemedim, biliyor musunuz? Çeteye bakıyordum. Ama kadın bu soruyu sordu. Chat niye canlandı?
Look at the keystones on two different champions. Double lift with the lethal tempo means you aren't going to see poke Varus. This is going to be more of the auto attack base, like we're going to see crit on hit on this guy. And if you look over at Broken Blade, fleet footwork here for the Akali, as some stats come up on the side of your screen, you can see really, really promising numbers for both the Orianna of Jensen and the Zillion of Bjergsen. 75% and higher win rates for both. It's something higher than 75. I don't know what the math is. I'm not a calculator.
Never do math on broadcast. That's the rule.
It's a lot. Yeah, we don't do math on broadcast. We only say the stuff we know, and I know it's higher than 75. It's just one of those other numbers up there.
There you go.
But Team Liquid,
these are true statements, yes.
We've already said these guys have locked in first place for themselves going into the playoffs. They have secured the playoff bye. This is a team that has looked so far and away from everyone else.
Broken dediğinde çevir kanka. Tamam, Broken dediğinde çevireceğim.
Losing to Echo Fox that nobody thought they would lose to, as well as also dropping these other games towards the end. A lot of people are surprised. And again, even though your playoff spot is not going to be impacted by whether or not you win or lose this game, you would love to end this one on a win, especially against one of the other favorite teams going into playoffs.
Yeah, you definitely do. And the expectations are just so high for this TL roster, given that they won back-to-back championships last year and then upgraded the roster. The expectations is that you win again, right? You know, Jensen came to TL to win. He has not won a championship in North America despite making the World Semifinals last year. He really wants that championship, and that was, I think, a big motivator for coming to TL.
Right. If this is a team that you know you can pop off with, this veteran roster with guys like Doublelift and Xmithy and Impact and Core JJ, who has a world championship of his own under his belt.
They got 2 world champions on TL.
Yeah, you really want to see this team succeed, because the question is, if you can't succeed with this roster, well, how can you? This is stacked, and Team Liquid fans are expecting this team to pop off. They're expecting this team to finish nothing less than at the top.
And you've got to say that's been the expectation for TSM for so many years.
Ses az mı? Açayım biraz.
And last year, really the first time that they kind of failed to match up to those expectations. First time they missed out on the finals. First time, you know, that they didn't go to Worlds, right? These are big firsts for TSM, and now back this year, seeing this team in form, it is such a
Adamlar konuşuyor diye ben konuşmuyorum
and so I think heartening for the TSM fans to see that they are competing again at that top. It is important for them to be winning those games and winning those championships, if not at least competing for them.
And not just for the fans, I mean for the players too. You hold those expectations of yourself. When you're Bjergsen and you're going to the finals year after year after year after year, and then all of a sudden you don't go in back-to-back splits, that's got to light a fire under you to get back in there and take your spot.
I mean, and by the way, Doublelift now, after last year, tied Bjergsen for the most trophies in the league. These guys are both sitting on, I believe, 5 apiece. If you would love to maintain that record if you are Bjergsen, this is a guy with a number of MVP titles who has been known for so long as the best player in the NALCS, and I feel like over the last year is the first time that we have really heard those conversations being challenged and people bringing up Doublelift's name more and more and saying, hey, what about Doublelift? He has won as many championships. He has now won an MVP. He has won on multiple different teams.
Jensen getting himself back there as Acadian wanted to show up in the mid lane, see if maybe he could help Bjergsen put a little bit of damage down, but Jensen getting himself away is just fine. Finding Acadian here in the top part of the
Yaz
river
bir şey
now,
ben de yorum
getting
yapayım.
EQ
Güzel söyledin
combo
bu arada.
down, continuing the chase.
Onu
Acadian
kesemeyecek.
wants to get away. Blast Cone's going to be there and available. Xmithy will not go further past this one. Flash blown on
Urf
both
olsaydı mesela
junglers.
Jarvan keserdi.
Acadian taken very low. You mentioned in Champion Select, if the Kindred can hop out of the way of that combo from
Bir
the
kere daha
drop, you can
EQ'si
win the
geldi.
fight, but when he comes at you from the bush, there's no way to react.
Yeah, very, very difficult to be able
Kodur
to
niye
avoid
dondurmadı?
that, if not impossible. And Acadian does get out with a trade of flashes, so not too bad for him. He will lose a little bit of priority for now, but certainly having that blast stone there was a blessing
Bu
to be
bilgiyi alın.
able to get out safely.
Farm pretty even here all the way across the board. You can see minor CS discrepancies from lane to lane, but Impact and Broken Blade, these are 2 guys to keep your eyes on as the game goes on. We already talked about how Broken Blade was the better carry the first time they fought. His Jax absolutely smashed the Yorick from Impact, but both these champions are going to be able to do plenty as the game goes on, and now they're getting into the 1 versus 1 here. Level 6 for Impact before Broken Blade's able to get his. Broken Blade still stealthing around in that shroud, but not
Şeyden bahsediyor.
You are going to be a little bit
İlk
vulnerable
oynadığında
here, though, as
taşıcı
Impact is
rolünde
pushing
Broken
up.
Blade
The wave is
üstünden
pushing towards
geçmişti.
Broken Blade. You are now down your ultimate,
Yeah.
and Broken Blade has his available, so you are being
Broken
pushed
ultisi
into
var,
this
senin
vulnerable
yok.
position, and despite the fact that Broken Blade played an incredible game last time on the Jax, it wasn't just about him. Acadian got involved. Acadian was really strong in helping him get that lead too. Bullying Smithy around, smoothing
Jax
him,
güzel
rolling
oynamasına
up and
rağmen
pressing a
Acadian
flash.
yardım
So
etti
it was a
falan
team
filan diyor.
effort that Broken Blade then made good on. And we'll see if Broken Blade can get that solo advantage here himself, as he would really love to continue to prove himself further against some of these veteran players.
I'm talking about Acadian.
Bir şey diyor, bakalım bu sefer tek başına öne geçebilecek mi?
As the game progresses, and right now Acadian is on that
Bir de
first
şey muamelesi
stack.
yapıyorlar.
Generally by the time you
Rookie
get
yani
around
yeni
the
oyuncu
20 minute
muamelesi.
mark and you start seeing
Diğer
more
tecrübeli oyunculara karşı
large
tek başına
scale
öne
team fights,
geçebilecek
you
mi?
want to see that the
Yani yardım
Kindred
alıyor ya.
have 4, so he has the bonus range and can be more effective. So as this game goes on, we'll track whether or not Acadian's able to make that happen, or whether Team Liquid can keep him off of those critical resources.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, it just gives you a lot more range, right? So it's giving you up to essentially Varus range once you do hit that 4 mark. So it's a lot easier to
Kesebilir
actually
aslında ultiyi,
have
no?
access to some of these big threats, right? You have that additional safety. You can actually
Şu an
trade
kesemez.
autos with someone like a Varus instead of taking multiple autos perhaps before you're able to get involved. And it does allow you to be much more consistently powerful in those team fights.
Broken Blade finding quite a lot of damage down onto Impact there, notably not jumping back in with the E. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, when you're laning against Vlad and the red bar starts to fill up, stay away. Yeah, exactly. It's traffic light rules.
Cade'in yarardan çok uzar.
Red means stop. Do not go anywhere near this dude. As Xmithy will hand off the blue buff over to Jensen here. Smithy doing a good job so far throughout this
Kaden
early
okey
game.
bence. Böyle
Flash
yardımcı
flash
rolünde
play
oynuyor
really
diyorum ya.
we saw out of
Hani
either
taşıyıcı
jungler so
rolünde
far
oynamasına
in
gerek
terms
yok
of
adamın.
actual PvP.
Deneyince de sıçıyor bence.
For a guy who had
Direkt
a great
yardımcı
game
support olarak
yesterday,
oynasın.
this is what
Zaten
we wanna see
taşıyıcılarım
from
var yani
Smithy,
takımda.
just something calm, cool and collected.
Broken falan var.
Something that I always think is
Lavina 5'te bağış
You have
atmış.
a push, so he utilizes that and instead of trying to get a tiny
Seni
little bit of
seviyorum
poke on impact on a
Torucuğum.
turret, he goes
Teşekkür
in,
ederim.
he drops a ward that is going to spot both
Lavinacığım.
blue as well as the Gromp,
Bağışın
and he
için.
pops
Bir
the
de
blast cone. So
beni
it
sevdiğin
makes
için.
just it a lot more difficult for Smithy to actually gank you.
Teşekkürler.
If you want to EQ over the wall, you're going to be straight onto a ward, and that's going to give you that advanced time to actually get away.
Kim hata yapıyor? O hata yapıyor. Ama
Nice little
taşırken
move that
yapıyor
will
işte.
help to keep Broken
Sadece
Blade safe.
sportif oynaması
Yeah,
lazım
shooting
bence.
those blast cones over the edge of the cliff when you're the red
Burada
side
Broken
top
kesecek
laner or
birazdan.
the blue side bottom laner to stop the enemy jungle's path from being as effective is very important if you ever have the opportunity to take 10 seconds to clear him away, as Smithy has now made his way onto the Drake.
Yep, and he can do this
Ne diyeyim,
because
ne
they
diyeyim
actually
Kenan?
spotted out these wards, right? They spotted out the Kindred on the ward. Impact will
Kankası
have to play
bende
pretty
sıçıcı
safe
rolde
here. They're
oynuyor.
gonna try to trade for some pressure. Impact though, showing a lot of respect, backing off. And Acadian will be gifted this mark. It's on the Gromp. He's on that side of the map, so we'll be able to grab a second here. And
Osman'ı
we'll see
nasıl
if they want to try
kesecekler?
to go for a dive. Remember, they have Kindred ult.
This is Vladimir that you're diving though. Hemoplague gonna be dropped down there, goes into the pool, finds a lot of damage onto Acadian. Lambs, the spike comes
Ulti çarptı mı?
but Impact cannot get in there in time. It's first blood over to TSM.
Very well played by the TSM duo
Nice.
there. Impact, his pool was not lasting long enough to be able to actually wait out the E, so you saw Broken Blade reactivate that, dive back in. Acadian's holding the turret aggro with his ultimate down. They execute a fantastic dive here. And this
Lige
is
karşı
really well
şey
done.
börtme, yani
Somewhat
ayrı
reminiscent
bitirme
of what
şeyin
happened
yok.
last time that they did run into each other. So you can see that mark on Impact's head. That is telling you how long that shuriken flip is available for. Straight
ulti,
in,
hem pasif
finishes
kesmiş.
off the kill. Easily escapes. Very well executed, and that meant
Eğer
no
şeyi
TP was
de
available for
marklasaydı,
Impact,
Vlad'ı
so he falls a
marklasaydı
lot
bayağı
further
şey
behind.
olacaktı.
Only way he could have kept himself alive there was trying to flash into the Lamb's respite.
Yeah.
But that is a very high risk play because there's still a very good chance that you die anyway. And then you're just down a summoner spell for that return gank from Acadian. So Impact ends up going down. And the CS discrepancy is just disgusting at this point in the
Baksana
top.
top lane'e.
I mean, it's going to feel so bad. Anytime you're getting dove on a stacked wave, you feel so terrible as a top laner because, you know, you're losing all of that CS and experience guaranteed. Then you don't even have your TP. So another wave got pushed in. You lose that as well. You know, you're now going to be walking back to
Bu arada
lane against
GG'di
a
bak,
gun
şey bitti,
Akali who's
Hex'te
going
kılıcı
to be
bitti.
essentially immune to a lot of your poke with all that healing. So certainly Impact is now in dire straits in this top lane. We'll see how he can hang on, but TSM punishes topside.
And I've mentioned this before. Vladimir often does like to go for the
Tek olayı böyle alt sustain etmekti. Ama şimdi hem Rün'den hem de şey var. Neydi adı? Hex'te kılıcı var, şu an şey de yapamaz yani.
But it does mean you're not hitting a first item power spike very soon. Bottom side, Core JJ in some trouble. Looking to binge that Kinch. Almost stacking up the Braum passive. There you go. The stun comes through. The damage goes out. TSM makes it a 2-for-0 game. Team Liquid getting themselves one on the backside now. As Smithy finds his way into the fight, but does not want to go for a Cataclysm on Desven. Summoner spells still available for the TSM AD carry.
Pretty good trade kill, though, for TL. In the 2v3, they do trade supports. And Doublelift still stays alive to be able to collect that farm. And on the top side, Broken Blade is looking to press his advantage, trying to bully this Vladimir. And goes Smithy, though.
Smithy trying to force the fight out on Desven.
Neden bu Jarvan o Lucian'ı kesemedi bilen var mı?
That means no kill to be found.
Critically, though, they get the flash off of Lucian, so he's going to be that much
Çünkü
more vulnerable.
kompetitif oynuyorlar ve Jarvan
There's a
eşyasına
plate
bak.
that goes down to Bjergsen on the roam here from the Orianna. So here this is one more time, 3-man bot. Core JJ looking to ward, but does not see the TSM members coming through. Guardian as well as the Grey Health and a really well-timed stopwatch by a lot of time. He gets the Ignite out on Smoothie before he goes down, and Doublelift is able to get that finishing damage in so the Ignite can take him out. Pretty well played from TL, and it's Impact
kesiyordu
being
topta.
pushed back to base once more. He is now down 35 CS. It's going to be even worse. More plates falling as well. Impact falling extremely behind in this matchup.
2 level
Look at
geride.
how healthy Broken Blade is. It's not like these fights are even close.
No.
Broken Blade partially thanks to fleet
Ben
footwork,
fightları
partially
merak
thanks
ediyorum.
to just the
Fightlar da
fact that
aşırı
he's got the
önemli.
gunblade and he heals up off of every bit of damage he does, is not under any sort of threat.
Yeah, it's really a bad feeling when you fall behind these sort of sustained tank wars, right? You know, Vladimir and Akali are trying to hit the threshold where you're dealing so much damage that your opponent can no longer stay around to heal that up. And when one of these people who are both trying to do the same thing gets massively ahead, all of a sudden they have an enormous advantage because it's Vlad who can't even get access to the wave to heal up. Broken Blade has free reign here.
Vladimir is getting Vladimired. This is normally what other champions experience against him when he hits level 9. Now he is level 9, and Broken Blade is still fully in control here, constantly throwing out the 5-point strike to farm up the minions.
Before coming up though, and there is no shroud available.
Broken Blade getting himself
Bak bak nasıl bağırıyor gördün mü?
Arcadian's also shadowing this, so if it does turn into a 2 versus 1, it'll quickly go 2v2 with buying some time there from the shroud. Double lift frog and lethal tempo in the bottom side, finding a couple auto attacks down onto Smoothie. Piercing arrow grabs some bonus damage off the back end.
Yeah, it does get tough for Smithy because I feel like that's a pretty doomed 2v2 as well. When your Vladimir is pretty far behind and you're a tank Jarvan going up against Kindred who already has that completed item. Yeah. You know, as long as they actually don't botch the usage of the Kindred ultimate, you can even save the Akali execute for after the Kindred ultimate expires and get a guaranteed kill there. So I definitely think TSM should have priority in that 2v2 top side, but they do still have to worry about the team fight from TL. J4 going in with a shockwave on the back of Orianna, and Jensen is one of the guys
Bu arada Zven bence çok kötü ya.
Incredible shockwaves.
Broken Blade has now found his way onto Impact. Good pull there from Impact to dodge away from the E. Broken Blade still going to chase after this one though. Doesn't have enough burst left in the kit.
İki ulti de hasar vurmadı.
I mean, look at how defensive Impact has to play that. He has to immediately drop the ultimate and try to proc his phase rush.
Ama sorun yok mesela. Belki şey için atmıştır yani. Kule hasar için.
Arcadian gets free reign to start up the Rift Herald. Impact goes back to base. You can see that Bjergsen is pushing in. Smithy is using this time to try to grab another dragon.
İşte bundan bahsediyorum. Top lane'e taşıyıcı şampiyon alıyorlar. Bir de top lane etrafında oynuyorlar. Bak Arcadian sabahtan tapta.
Now bottom side, here comes Zillion. Team Liquid in some trouble. Core JJ trying to get double lift out of trouble, but here comes the damage. Can they find him? The calling goes through. Double lift gets himself away, but not quite.
Flash atacağı yere attı gördünüz mü?
Core JJ will be number 2. Sven grabs that kill, and it's 2-0 TSM.
Double lift was a couple seconds away from the heal being back up, just barely didn't have it. And Bjergsen, it looked like he predicted the flash with that bomb, throwing it where double lift would have to flash to try to escape. He catches him and knocks him down, and TSM starting to really take full control over this one.
With the leads they've got through the kills and the farm and the fact that they got the turret first blood, this team is now 3,000 gold ahead, and it's letting them make plays like these.
Yep, in they go. TSM getting very aggressive. Nice early chunk onto double lift, and now watch where Bjergsen throws the bomb. He waits and throws it to where double lift has to flash to try to get out. That is 100%.
Ulti falan da geliyor böyle canını azaltmak için. Mesela hem Ignite geliyor Smoothie'den hem ulti geliyor Zven'den. Hani tam böyle ölsün diye. Onlar da okey. Güzel yani.
He makes the plays when they matter. He comes in clutch and pulls things off, predicting exactly where double is going to move. Giving that first death, grabbing his own first kill. And Bjergsen has had some incredible performances on the Zillion before. This game looking like it might be yet another one of those, as Impact is just relegated to sitting back and watching Broken Blade farm.
Yeah, Broken Blade is working quickly towards that Morello Nomicon. I think a really smart buy against the Vladimir here. When you hit that 2-item power spike, maybe the ultimate healing isn't even enough to keep Impact alive and an all-in from full health. You know, that gets very, very dangerous. So we'll see where Impact wants to go with his build. It's already fairly
Late'de Vlad Akali matchup'ı ne oluyor? Vlad kazanıyor biliyor musun?
He's going to be pushed very far back on that power curve.
Ya büyü direnci falan alırsa.
You want that late game Vladimir, but it's feeling like a bit of a pipe dream at this point.
His 17 minutes build is a potion, a book, a Doran's item, 2 CDR garage sale pieces, and shoes. This is not a Vladimir that even has a single item fully completed. You see this guy TPing into a fight. Normally a Vladimir TP strikes terror into the hearts of men, and this one just makes you giggle a bit. The man's not going to have any impact for a very long time.
Eşyalarını falan şey yaptı. O dakika 17'de bir Vlad'ın eşyası böyle olmaması lazım. Bir tane bile eşya bitirememiş dedi. Normalde Vlad TP atarsa falan herkes korkar dedi. Bu adam TP attı şu an yiyecekler falan diyor yani.
Bjergsen with the piercing arrow, if that can hit on multiple members, so they certainly are looking for something like that. But it's going to be a tough road. And TSM now taking their advantage from the top side of the map where they grab the Rift Herald straight into mid lane, looking for this turret.
Shelly summoned up, bombs thrown down to zone Team Liquid away, but Shelly will be killed before she's able to guarantee the turret being taken.
K'da değil,
Team
2.5K.
Liquid hold the line there. Remember, they also do have the advantage in this game of having 2 out of 2 elemental drakes so far. That next one not spawning for about another 100 seconds, and we'll likely see TSM start to fight for those now that Rift Herald's not available anymore. There's not as much to fight for elsewhere on the map. And Double Lift will continue trying to farm up here in this bottom side. Blade of the Ruined King done for both AD carries. And considering this isn't the on-hit Varus, this is going to be the Varus that starts off. Or this is the poke Varus that starts off with the on-hit with Blade of the Ruined King. Scales into Crit, Hurricane, Infinity Edge, yada yada. It will be very, very powerful in team fights later on. It just has to get there.
As long as you can actually get the time to auto, right? You know, potentially you're going to have an Akali who's super fed, diving in on you with a zillion bomb on her head.
Bak şimdi mesela biraz kaybetmeye başladı.
Another couple hundred damage. That is really, really frightening and very difficult
Morlem
to
konu
survive.
bitmesi lazım.
When Doublelift has no MR whatsoever, you know, it's going to be up mostly to Core JJ to really use a perfectly timed Devour and keep him safe.
I like how you use a couple hundred damage, and at this point, with having pretty much 2 items, Bjergsen's bombs are already doing 500 damage each, so that's a 1k burst. If you get hit by both of them, that is scary.
Yeah, and certainly reduced by the magic resist, you know, maybe more like 600 or something around there, but it's a lot of damage.
It hurts.
When you are this marksman who's only sitting at 1200 health, you know, that plus an Akali means you're instantly dead, right? You know, don't worry about that Lucian, don't worry about, you know, even this Kindred. That'll be enough in and of itself, and you could have Broken Blade now with the Morellonomicon. Vladimir is in a no-fun zone.
Alright, he got his proto belt at least. He's got an item. That's pretty good. I think Smithy will go after Broken Blade here. Gets the electrocute damage, but Broken Blade safely gets himself away. It's a 4-man push on the top side from Team Liquid to take down the tier 1 turret, but TSM will respond by taking one in kind in bottom lane.
I think this is smart though from TL. You're losing top side, you're losing bot side. Just lane swap and try to trade turrets, right? And that's basically what they're going for here. You don't want the Varus matching up against Lucian, who's already on 2 items. You certainly don't want Impact lane against Broken Blade when he's been getting slammed. So they're going to try to trade those turrets. But Bjergsen, you know, making it an unfair trade as he grabs the mid lane outer himself.
Cadian working on picking up this Cloud Drake here for the side of TSM. As Broken Blade's looking for some damage on the double. If Core JJ gobbles him up to safety, but Broken Blade might be able to go back in. There you go. There's the Akali with the bomb. The damage goes through. Broken Blade going to be in some trouble. As the Zillion ultimate on him. They're waiting for that one to wear away. Impact does not want to pop him and allow him to get the heal. Goes in and grabs the kill. Impact's revenge finds its way.
Bjergsen erkenden atmadı ultiyi bu arada. Bjergsen trolledi.
Team Liquid is right back in the fight. Xmithy and Impact will try to disengage in the top side. Sven lets loose the calling as Xmithy heads for the hill.
Yeah, they're going to keep going, though. They're trying to take down Smithy. I think he will survive this. The Honey Fruit is there. The last tick of Ignite does not get him. A couple shutdowns going the way of Liquid. They are not going to go quietly into the night on this one. They are fighting back. And Broken Blade perhaps overreaching here, as he has done at times, going in for the 1v2. Perfectly timed Devour there from Core JJ.
Bak burada ulti gelmesi lazım. Ulti at.
Now available, takes the long ride in. Just barely can't take down Doublelift. Impact TPing in, waits out the Zillion ultimate, does get the first kill. Was a close affair though, as Smoothie gets in between and Impact has to commit the flash to do it. Then Jensen going forward onto Bjergsen, gets the shutdown there, and TSM just barely not able to trade back on Smithy, so a couple shutdowns going the way of TL. Critically on their solo lane carries.
Dediğim gibi Zill'in ultisinin erkenden gelmesi lazım.
Now Jensen at 234
ya vurmayacaklar ya da
CS
Zill'in
at
ultisini
21.5
alacaklar.
into the game. Gets a shutdown as well. He's on 2 items with Sork Boots too.
Jensen with a 300 gold lead over his lane.
Yani normalde Zill'in ultisini son saniye atarsın. Çünkü hani Zill'e karşı oynayınca adamlar hasar falan bekletir yani ulti patlamasın diye. Yani o son saniye atarsın tam böyle şey yaparken. Hem baitliyorsun hem de dediğim gibi. Ama orada mesela 3 kişiye giriyordu adam.
And we need some patience and poise from TSM because they had been running this game from the start, right? And you don't want to just
şey de olabilir, Jarvan'ı görmemiş olabilir.
Play like that. They did not have vision on where
İki
Smithy
kişi kesemezler falan ulti atmamı
gerekiyor. It would
gerekiyor.
have been an incredible play if Broken Blade pulls it off, but does he need to even go for it when he's in such a powerful position already?
Broken Blade and TSM now contemplating their next move. We are 22 minutes into the game, means Baron is alive, and you can see TSM in that northern part of the river. Control wards being placed down all over the place at the entrance to the jungle of Team Liquid. TSM wants to make sure this part of the map is dark as night, and Team Liquid always has to be scratching their head, wondering, are they on it? Are they going to try to do it? How soon do we have to walk up here and face check this?
Bu şeyden sonra kapatsak mı?
Blue trinkets already. They are certainly going to have to fight for this vision very, very heavily. We'll see how well they can maintain as Smithy in the area. He is tanked, so it does make it a little bit easier, to have that additional durability and try to come in and clear this out. They're getting rid of most of TSM's pinks in the area.
Worth noting that while Smithy is going for a tanky build, it's Cinderhulk into a Kindle gem that I can only assume is going to be.
Late game nasıl olacak onu merak ediyorum.
It is only health and
5v5 fight'ta Orianna ile Vlad var. Zilin pek bir işe yaramıyor ama Kindred var. Kindred işe yarıyor.
He will melt if TSM has firing time.
He certainly will, so it's going to be
Broken'un mesela nasıl oynadığı çok önemli.
Here comes that firing time we're talking about. Broken Blade coming in from behind, drops down the shroud. Impact not able to make his way into the fight. Already going to be killed off. More damage coming through. TSM going to be routing everybody as Core JJ is going to fall down next. The bomb strapped to his head, and he is dead. Bjergsen makes sure that one's going to be a 3-for-0 to the side of TSM.
Broken Blade atoning for his earlier sins. Gets the beautiful flank, and they could get Impact here too.
Impact, what are you doing, man? 1 versus 5 is not the kind of fight you want to win.
Impact really overreaching. They're trying to get something back.
Orianna fight'ta değil miydi ya? Ben Orianna'yı görmedim.
I don't think that Liquid can get here in time.
Look at all these zombie wards hanging out in the area. Team Liquid just now respawning, trying to wash the black and white off their screens as Team Liquid will take down this, not Team Liquid, excuse me, Team Liquid just respawning, TSM will take down this Baron. I had to talk about Team Liquid dying so much in the last fight, still had the name on my tongue, but it's TSM, the ones who are popping off. TSM, the ones who get themselves a Baron just 24 minutes in, and TSM that made this happen.
Yeah, and look at this engage. Broken Blade coming in from behind, Acadian pressuring Jensen on the side. Core JJ has a good devour, but they're just camping, waiting until Doublelift will come out. Core JJ's belly, and they knock him down so easily. Impact not able to get him
Orianna
out of the fight.
He
didn't have the flash available, so he couldn't flash over from the Raptor pit, and then this from Impact was certainly an overreach that did get him killed. TSM now gonna be pressing very heavily, trying to extend this lead. They have an early Baron buff. They're already 6k ahead. And with the winning side lane, you have to feel like that's the potential to knock down at least these outers.
And I mean, you've got the Rage Blade up for Doublelift now, but look across the board. Look at Sven. He's got the Black Cleaver as well as the Rapid
Bu arada
Fire.
ama şeylerin Rabadonları biterse Vlad'ın bir de Orianna'nın daha da zorlaşacak.
With TSM having a 6,000 gold
Vlad'da bak,
lead
Vlad'la
and
Orianna
2.5 minutes
Rabadon
left on this
bittikten sonra
Baron
bayağı
power
zor
play,
olacak
you're
fight'ta.
expecting this team to cash in, considering they still have all the tier 2s left playing.
Yeah, you really are, and there is that first of those tier 2s that's going to be going
Abi
down.
Power Spike deyince aklıma Dota Chess geliyor mesela. Vlad'la şeyin Orianna'nın ve Rabadon bitirmesi ve 2 level 2 star falan olmaları bilmiyorum garip ya. Kafayı bozdum resmen.
If they do get into one of these all-in fights, and so far it's this 3-man squad, double marksman as well as Smoothie sitting up here in this lane. Very safe 3-man squad when you consider the Braum Peel plus the Kindred ultimate, and Broken Blade almost just insta-killing Doublelift there. That wasn't even his ultimate. Charge.
Ultimate's still available there from Broken Blade, but if you look at what's going on here as well for the side of TSM, I'm going to go ahead and check in with what I mentioned earlier. Acadian does have those 4 stacks on the Kindred, so he's very team fight relevant at this point in time. Has the Hex Drinker working on the Blade of the Ruined King of his own. So much on-hit damage from the side of TSM as they'll continue pushing up the top side, pushing up that mid lane as well. You can see Bjergsen going down to catch the wave and enchant it with Baron buff in the bottom lane and make it so they're pounding this triple threat into the Team Liquid base for the entirety of the last minute of Baron.
Yeah, they have cleaned out all the outers, 6 turrets to 2 now. The gold lead extending even further here for TSM, but there's still a minute remaining, as you say. They have the potential to try to crack this turret as it is getting fairly low. Jensen is going to need some sort of a miracle shockwave, it feels like, to turn around these fights, as Doublelift is having so much trouble even getting involved, and Impact needs more time to scale.
Bjergsen rotating over to the mid lane to help Broken Blade out here, but the Akali's just never under any threat. The ability to throw down that Shroud and drop the aggro from everyone on the enemy team, there's just not enough damage on the side of Team Liquid to blow him up through it with AoE. TSM takes down the tier 3 in the top lane. They will continue pushing now. Inhibitor is their goal. Sven will chip away at this one with the auto attacks.
Arabalanı bitti oraya.
Sven makes sure he gets off the last 2 autos and the first inhibitor will fall.
Vlad'ın bitmedi ama yine utility var, o yüzden sorun yok.
Impact tries to ward him away with the tides of blood, but TSM will not stop. Hemoplague dropped, but that's just not anything for Impact. He can't find what he's looking for. He'll barely keep the turret alive.
Critically, Jensen did just complete his death cap. That's what he was back in the fountain for. So certainly a Shockwave has game-changing potential, but it needs to be something huge from TL to now gain control back in this game as they are 8K behind. They have lost an inhibitor. TSM farming both sides of the jungle. And certainly looking like they are in full control.
Abi tilt değildir yani. Kompetitifte tilt olmak biraz zor. Yani olan salaklar var da böyle. Kompetitif maçta tilt olmak kötü yani.
We're the guys to look out for going into the playoffs, because it was always TSM, TL, C9. Everybody was talking about who's going to be the edge, who's going to have that extra bit of an advantage, and for a long time people were saying.
Mesela ben o kadar maç oynadım, sadece bir kere tilt oldum. Onda da bir tane oyuncumuz şey demişti. Umurumda değil falan demişti. O mesela bayağı tilt ediyor. Mesela biri 0-10 oynasa bile oyunda fark etmiyorsun aslında oyun oynarken. Mesela diyelim bir tane jungle var 0-10 oynuyor. Pek fazla umurumda olmuyor oyun oynarken. Ama şey olunca adam mesela konuşurken umurumda değil falan diyorsa o tilt edebilir.
Third place sixth, fourth place fifth, but then first seed gets their choice of whoever they want to play for those winners. And I guarantee you, Isaac, Team Liquid will want nothing to do if TSM wins their quarterfinal.
Definitely would not, but still a long way to go to get there. And we'll see if TL has anything to say about this game itself. Can they turn this around? Doublelift is now on 3 items. Again, I've ported out those big 3 coming through for Jensen as well. And he's working towards that Void Staff likely as the 4th.
Peki neden Gargoyle ikinci item? Şey neydi adı? Ulti atıp Gargoyle basıyorlar. O yüzden alıyorlar. Jarvan'ı şey olarak kullanıyorlar işte. İşlevsel olarak kullanıyorlar.
We'll see if TL can find the way into that fight, because if you're just trying to charge through zillion bombs, charge into Cadian who has the Lamb's Respite ready, it's going to be very difficult to make good on all of this.
Kesebilir de mesela şu an. Ama bilmiyor nerede.
Impact is a lower level than Acadian. TSM's jungler level 16. Yeah, at least 2 above everybody on the side of Team Liquid except for Jensen. That's just
Lavina, yayını kapatma canım, az daha kal.
TSM has this.
It is so rare to see junglers keep up with solo laners in experience in pro play these days. He has 210 CS.
Dota Chess oynayabilirim de. Dota Chess mi yoksa kapatayım yayını?
That is certainly a rare sight to see in pro play. So Acadian is monstrously strong. You have to give him that respect on the Kindred. He's another big threat from the marksman role.
Bomb ticks down on Xmithy, takes a decent chunk out of his health right there.
No way.
And with Xmithy taken down to half HP and Bjergsen zoning everybody away, Blue Trinket's unfortunately not coordinated there from the side of Team Liquid either. Doublelift takes 2 bombs. That's what that was. His health is 2/3 of the way gone, and Team Liquid has no chance to contest Baron number 2.
There's just almost no way to walk through that corridor. The bombs take up the whole corridor. Zillion is zoning you, and you have 2 Blade of the Rune King marksmen working on that Baron, shredding through it. TSM get the Baron buff. They have the lead. 1 inhibitor already down. This is where they are looking to close out the game.
That mid lane inhibitor turret was down to 1 hit earlier. It did have the chance to regenerate a little bit. Bjergsen will be forced to flash away there. Was caught out in the mid lane, but that does mean there's no Cataclysm available here for the Jarvan now. Sven putting down the calling, looking to do some damage to the Doublelift health bar. D-Lift down to about half HP there. Core JJ also had to pop his Locket of the Iron Solari. Broken Blade in bottom lane, trying to pressure onto the tier 3. Impact looking to fight him here, but still not a very close fight, even with the turret advantage. Acadian and the rest of TSM pushing onto the mid lane inhibitor, just waiting to chip
Güzel maçtı bu arada. TSM cidden iyi oynuyor ya, kötü oynamıyor ya.
Will continue applying the damage even if nobody else can get in range. Chains flung out, Doublelift trying to find anything here, but Team Liquid just does not see the opportunity to go in. Remember, even if you do, you still have to get through Zillion ult, you still have to get through Kindred ult. And Team Liquid now stares down the barrel of losing both
Bak
Nexus turrets.
taşıyıcı top lane nasıl
Nexus
fark
turret
ediyor?
number 1 taking some fire. Super minions marching into the enemy base. Sven and Broken Blade into the bottom lane, looking to make something happen.
Ultiyi de
Maybe
Allah
now
aşkına
the
hiçbir
impact
işe yaramıyor
Plague
bu.
already used. 2 cannon minions firing away at these Nexus turrets. Team Liquid decides to go in. They're looking for Smoothie, but Xmithy's going to be taken down. The stun will guarantee it as Team Liquid has to head for the hills. They'll run away. They'll try to disengage. Impact will hold the line, but for how long?
That'll do it.
This protects him for only a moment as he now has to retreat as well. TSM has only 1 Nexus turret to go, and the Nexus is now exposed. Double will be taken to safety, but this will surely end poorly for Team Liquid. Impact tries to get himself something. The shockwave
Jensen oyun boyunca hiçbir şey yapmadı bu arada.
and TSM will 2-0 Team Liquid in the